Hello, good morning. My name is Eniola. As most people on this page or people that are following me will know, I just want to quickly talk about the 21-story building that collapsed at Gerrard Road in Lagos. It's very sad for we that we are professionals, and at the same time, it's a lesson to be learned. Sorry. Now, for me, I want to educate a lot of people, and I still want to ask some questions of my own. That building was designed to be a 15-story building, and 7 more floors were added. Sorry, 6 more floors were added to that building. Everybody is saying, oh, the first question to be asked is, was the foundation designed to accommodate 6 more floors? Did LAPSCA actually carry out their own tests? Material testing, non-destructive tests, to check the reinforcement, the concrete, the beams, the columns? Were those tests, necessary tests, carried out on that building? There is no building that collapses that does not give a sign that it's going to collapse. And I'll still say it again, no building. A building doesn't just crumple like a pack of cards. In the bit that it crumples like a pack of cards, all columns failed. But I'll still get to that. Now, for you to know if a building is going to collapse, number one, the columns will buckle, will be buckling. You will see the signs that it's buckling. The walls will sag. The beams will be displaced. And another thing again is, even the columns will be displaced. And if if the building is not a frame structure but a block structure, the meaning is that you will see the difference between either the beam, the column, or the frame. It will be detaching itself from it. The meaning is that that building is crying. We have crying buildings that are saying, I'm giving up, I'm stressed. Now, for a non-destructive test is to make sure the materials that were used on that particular structure is okay. Now, I want to educate you about concrete. For that massive project, they are supposed to have their concrete yard. And for all we see, they don't have any concrete yard anywhere near. So the meaning is that there must be an engineer on the site, which the engineer has left the site a long time ago. No architect was written on their board. They didn't have any consultant, but they were just working. Now, this is it. Normally, an engineer will carry out on site, on wet concrete, what we call a slump test. In the bit that a cone is used to test the workability of that concrete. And we know Lagos traffic. If you are bringing a concrete mixer, I mean the vehicle, and it's in traffic, before it gets there, the concrete might not be workable again. Now, for you to test the strength of that workability, if it's between 0 to 25 mm, the meaning is that it has low workability. If it is between 25 mm to 50 mm, it still have a low workability. But if it is between 50 to 100 mm, the workability is medium. But if it is between 100 to 150, then it has a high workability, because that is what concrete is all about. It's a binding agent, to be able to bind the reinforcement together and make sure that everything becomes rigid, because a frame of a structure is rigid. Now we have so many kind of tests that can be carried out. Like I've mentioned before, I've explained the slump test, we have the comparting test, and we have the flow, test. But the one that we use most, or that is used on site, is the one that is the slump test. Now, why does a column fail? There are so many errors that can happen. Number one, if you don't use the right material. Every material reinforcement that you buy, if you buy the low reinforcement, it will definitely fail tests. I don't want to go into that because there are a lot of things that I would like to talk about. When you ask a client to buy the higher grade reinforcement, a client will tell you, oh, I don't have money. So they go for the low one, which is called the local. And local always fail tests, no matter what. Now, I talked about one, we have the material. Then we have what we call the combined stress. It might be error, what is it called? From construction, or construction defects. So many things can happen for a column to fail. And the reason why I am talking about columns failing is because that building crumpled like a pack of cards. So the meaning is that all the columns fail at the same time. Why will that happen? Why will a building crumple like a pack of cards? Now we have what we call a point load in a building. Where I'm going to because I've done a lot of jobs, and I'm talking to anybody that wants to remodel, interior designer, professionals. Professionals know that they are not supposed to knock down any column without properly propping it. You need to prop the slab before you can take down any column whatsoever. Now, in the bid that a column is being removed, you have to make sure, demand for the structural drawing of that building to know where the point load is. Now, a point load is where all the vertical load is, and the vertical load is transferred to the foundation. That is actually what is holding the building. If you go down to my page, you will see a building that was being remodeled and just one column was hit. That was the point load, and all the building came down. That is the point load. Now, the point load is where it is transferred from the beam, from the bearing wall. All the load is transferred to that particular point. That is what we call our point load, which can never be touched in a building. Once that is touched, all the floors come down. And I feel so sad because when professionals, when they try to talk to clients feel they are overbearing, they are pompous, they are too bossy, they argue a lot, they don't want them to do what they want to do and all that. It's because they have your interest at heart. Once a structure fails, it fails. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You work for your money, hard-earned money. You should see your structure, and your structure is standing. An average structure can last more than 100 years if it is built properly and very well. Just like a human body that the spinal cord is broken. How can the person walk or run or do anything again? It's not possible. That is why I'm talking to those that feel they can cut beams, they can cut columns, interior designers, or whoever wants to remodel or anything. Watch what you cut in a building. Watch it very well. Because you deciding to start cutting columns in a building A lot of things can happen. You deciding to cut beam in a building, a lot of things can happen. And for those that don't have anybody to fight for them, especially those boys or guys that go from one side to the other looking for work to do, menial work to do so that they can eat, they don't want to steal, I pray that God rest your soul. And for those other professionals that were in the building, I pray that God rest your soul too, and God gives your family the fortitude to bear the loss and smoothen their heart. On a building where the engineer had to resign, there was no architect on the building, architect consultant, a consultant on the building, I mean engineer, an architect, an M&E, nobody was specified on the building. Why? They saw something was wrong with the way that building was being constructed, and they pulled out, and their name was struck out from that board. Nigeria, I hope will grow beyond this, and I pray that the bodies that are responsible for this, that they put mechanism in place that this does not happen again. Thank you.